What are we doing? I know what we'll do. We'll give everybody just a minute. All right, everybody. Now we're live. Now we're doing stuff. Now, like 2 of you are on board. And let's be honest with you. I know it's a Friday afternoon, but most of you don't go back after the fire drill that we had this morning. Am I right or am I right or am I right? How we doing, everybody? How about a little shuffle up and shake? Listen, if the signs of Armageddon aren't all around you, then I don't know what you're doing here. I really don't. I mean, listen, an earthquake, seriously? First of all, let's blame Jersey together. Fix my stand. Hold on. Thanks for better viewing if we do it this way. Ugh. There we go. Everybody's better now. So, New Jersey, we want to thank you. What? Just because the eclipse wasn't going through you, you had to be like, hey, what about me? Shut up, Jersey. Shut up. It's not about you. It's not about you, Jersey. By the way, every single New Yorker just kind of went, he gets it. He gets it. He gets it, right? Hey, everybody. How we doing? Rachel, Trish, going to see you soon here. Sandra, good to see you. Kathy, I don't mind saying twice. Hey, Sam, how are you? Nicoletti, I like that name. SoCal, huh, Mr. B? Listen, we had a little southern. I ended up having a call today from somebody that's in LA County, and he's from upstate, and he kind of laughed. He goes, how about that? I moved to LA. You get earthquakes. And I'm like, oh, there you go. Hey, Tina, how are you? Oh, that's awesome. Tina, love you too. Great job. Kathleen, how are you doing? And of course, you guys do know I never share your journey, but I always honor it, right? You're a Burbank guy. Kick back, relax, and have a good time. Well, listen, I was going to do a shuffle up and heal, and I'm gonna. Hey, Janet, good to see you, love. So here's the deal. We're going to do this. When I start calling things out, this is who I'm calling on. I'm going to do 12 readings today, and we're going to do it for each rising sign. Oh, Brandon, sassy. We're going to do 12 of them. You need to know your rising sign. You can start locking them in now. We're going to choose each one of the rising signs so that we can do a read on it. And then we're going to talk about how this eclipse is going to affect you. It's kind of fun. Karen chiming in, super duper day. Gail, good to see you. Lori, how have you been? Kim, awesome. Chris, good to see you too. Right? Oh, look at this. We're locking in early. I love it. Give me a couple of minutes to talk, but by all means, you guys are in. So we're having a good time. Anybody else seeing the eclipse this weekend? Or I should say Monday. What do eclipses mean anyways? Right? The astronomy of it is basically the moon is basically saying to the sun, excuse me, coming through, kind of gets up and, busts their butt in front of you. Like you're in a movie theater and you're like up 1 over 1, you just get done with the, with the opening credits and everything. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta go whoop, right out the door. And then all of a sudden, you know what, guys, I'm going to tell you, I have never had more viewers in 4 minutes than I do today. So maybe this 2:00-ish start time is kind of better for you, right? Totally good. Nancy, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Tara, awesome as always. Janet, CC99. I kind of think that's funny. Oh, and by the way, I see some of you guys hitting the website now too. Listen, you're going to want to jump on the website because first of all, let's talk about our. Let's talk about this one here. What do we got going on here? So there I am, right? Now I'm going to take this down again, and then I'm going to move it over here. I got a couple of things coming up. I don't know if you guys follow me or not. How about this one? This one better? Yeah, probably better. And then I got the cards. The cards are all ready to go. I'm doing my best Vanna. And listen, I've got a couple of things coming up. I realized this as I was doing it. I'm in a bunch of historical places coming up. I'm going to be out at the Van Alstyne Homestead. And those of you that don't know where that is in Canajoharie, it's up on the hill and it overlooks everything. It is where titans of industry, from the late 1800s, early 1900s would come and meet representatives from Albany. A lot of moving and shaking went on there. There's been fires. There's been murder and mayhem and all that other good stuff. You got to check out that set. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also, that show is supporting the Rotary, the local Rotary as well. They're old friends of ours. We've been doing work with them for years. They do a lot of support things that schools need locally. They usually kind of have a pulse on that. Sometimes they need everything. All right, Chelsea, calm down a little bit. Murders, I'm in. Count me in. Get the carpet. We're taking 2 at a time this time. But yeah, it's a very historical setting. And it's a lot of fun. Then, of course, the Arsenal Tavern, where everybody knows your name. It was basically everybody lived there during World War II. They would go back and forth between their shifts. They would always work double shifts, and they would go over there to get their meals and their drink on. By the way, they didn't really care if you were a little toasty when you were making the guns for some reason, whatever. And then, of course, the Burrstone Inn, named after carrying the namesake of Aaron Burr, our third vice president. Yes, that Aaron Burr. Those of you that got that joke, if you know, you know. But this was a crossroads for him across the state where he would have meeting points, which is why they would call it Burrstone. In other words, this is just where he met. It wasn't until later on that it became an inn and all that other cool stuff. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, Sacandaga Brewery. I'm also going to be out at the Oneida Lake Art Center later on. Just check out my stuff, guys. The shows are fun. They're developing. I have some huge, and I do mean huge, surprises coming up in the fall. Huge. So you're going to want to catch me when I'm in these slightly smaller venues, right? I can guarantee it if I've got up to 60, 70 people, I get to everybody. And everybody's like, what? And by the way, every medium gives me shit for reading everybody. Do you know that? Do you know why? I don't treat this like a game. If I'm supposed to give you a message and you're there, I'm going to give you a message. If I'm not, sometimes it doesn't come, right? Just like you're on this. I'd like to read all of you. Not always the whole thing, right? But during the live set, I feel an opportunity to connect with everybody. And sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes I miss a few people. It happens. But by and large, you got a pretty good shot when you come to my shows to get a connection of some kind. And if you don't get it directly from me, you're going to get it in other places as well. Boy, you guys are blowing up my website. Thank you so much, tbrandonruss.com. By the way, register. Get on the email list. By registering, you get on the email list. I've got a lot of fun stuff coming up, guys. Tons up to and including some not yet cards. Relax. Back to me. Thank you. So, the earthquake today. I mean, how insane was that earthquake? Right? I actually thought, this is a true story. So I get up this morning. What day is it? It's Friday. I got my usual Friday stuff. Got a thing tonight. Got phone calls to make, readings to do, so forth and so on, right? And it's vacation week here in upstate New York for most school districts. A lot of them take the week after Easter, and then the other one, look at this. You guys are all over my website right now. I love you for all of that. So the boys can get a little rambunctious, right? They're just I mean, they're 11, 12, and 17, right? Yeah, it's funny. I think the river shielded a lot of people, Barbara. It's interesting. People in Troy got it or didn't feel it, but Albany did. I think the Hudson River kind of absorbed a lot of it. Right? I mean, I felt it, but it didn't even feel like a 4.8er. But anyway, so here's my whole thing with this. So I'm thinking that the boys are just having an all-out battle. By the way, if you have 3 boys and any of them are near teenage years, shit's going to get broken, right? Like you're like, okay, walls are going to get thrown into, people are going to get punched. I genuinely thought it was the kids, like doing a little wrestling thing. I felt the wall kind of go boom, just a little bit. And I'm like, man. So I'm ready to rip heads off. I'm getting ready to leave. And sure enough, they're sitting there demure, looking at me going, what just happened? And I'm like, what do you mean just what happened? Get off your brother. And they're like, he's not even near me, Dad. Like, what are you doing? Like, I was in total, like, I was ready to rip heads off. I was genuinely just ready to be like, just insane. Like, I was just ready to just go crazy. Sure shit, though. Sure shit. I'm like, huh. And then my phone blows up. By the way, some of you in this are messaging me, sending me messages, texting me, whatever. And it is, you couldn't give me a heads up from that. Well, if you go back and you watch my last astrology report, I talk about how this next eclipse is going to come with earthquakes. Uranus and Jupiter are hanging out together, guys. This is like, you better have a plan. And by the way, after being in, I was in the telecom industry and I used to do project management for them or whatever. And one of the big things was where their earthquake zones were. Oklahoma, believe it or not, is a huge earthquake zone. They get them all the time. And it's like, what? They don't really talk about it. That's because nobody lives there. So nobody really gives a shit. But your telecom has to be safe, right? Obviously, LA, anything on the San Andreas and all that other stuff. I'll do shout outs here in a second, guys. I'll keep them coming in. It's interesting because I really learned that places like Texas and Oklahoma are like high earthquake zones. The Northeast doesn't have an earthquake rating that's very high. So our buildings are just like sticks and nails. Something, if a major hits us, and listen, I'm not one for fear mongering, but we get hit by 6.0, your house might be in danger. If it's not well done and you got stuff kind of little hipping and swaying. Now, the good news is that mostly shale. So you're not going to get like sinkholes and that sort of thing. But boy, they get them out in Texas. They get them out in Oklahoma. Arkansas, I never knew any of that stuff, right? And it begs to reason. I'm going to tie this to crystal in my work here, guys. So Arkansas is a huge crystal deposit there, huge, miles and miles of Black Hills. There's 2 or 3 ranges out there. Well, in New York, we have the Herkimers, right? There is a tectonic plate kind of connecting the dots in the middle. I think it's in southern New York that runs all the way down to like through Pennsylvania into Jersey. So this shouldn't surprise anybody. But guys, listen, you got an eclipse, you got Mercury retrograde. Anybody having fun yet? What do you got to change? What do you got to mix up a little bit? What do you got to say? Hey, how do you do? Gosh, who's ready for change? Right? Interesting question, Mary. Let me do some shout outs here. Yeah, Chelsea, I've still got you as, by the way, this is a funny comment. I'm just going to let you know. Murders. We were talking about the Van Alstyne. We weren't talking about an ongoing thing. Please, you mandated reporters. I don't want them to show up here. Barbara, good afternoon. Sandra, good to hear from you. Rachel, you're in with the Aquarius Rising. Janine. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. And the Second Dagger Brewery also has a lot of historical stuff on that area. Yeah, we got heavy snow the other day, Mama O. CC, yeah, thank you for laughing. Karen, good to see you. Adrian, hello. Leslie, Stephanie, great to see you. Yeah, Stephanie, like, listen, when I'm in those smaller settings and I've got, if I've got less than 75, I'm going to get to everybody just about. But times are going to change. Things are going to get bigger, and that's just how it goes. Debbie, great to see you. Amber, yes, it is insane. Oh my gosh. So you kind of predicted it with your kids. That's funny. Call your kids the Oracle 1 and 2. Barbara, good to see you. You didn't feel it. Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that report. Gail, Sue, good to hear from you from the UK. Paula, good to see you. Let's see, Mount Pleasant. Yeah. Or Lake Pleasant. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. It was like it was like a truck driving through the neighborhood, honestly. Cohoes Falls, yeah, definitely. Oh, so that's interesting. So if you're up by the falls, that's kind of the cutoff for the Hudson there. So if you felt it there, then okay, we'll kind of see how that goes. You did in Greenwich, that's up higher. Didn't feel it in Utica, but you can but you might not have felt the earthquake, but you can see me at the Burstone Inn. And by the way, that date, that May 9th, I think it's either 8th or 9th, is right before Mother's Day. By design, kind of my Mother's Day show. Still might add one on. Mary, great to see you. Yeah, Sam, that's totally boys' life. Judy, good to see you. Mary, oh my gosh, there's almost too many. Rita, great to see you. Leslie, lots of love and gray hair. Yeah, they're just flight risks. Boys, you know where they are. They're in the next room beating the tar out of each other. Jenny, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Kim, Terry, Jim. Oh, Jim. By the way, Jim, we should connect because one of the surprises that I have has to do with historical things in a theater, not in Cahos. So you might want to connect with me on this one. Michelle, great to hear from you. Okay, Adrian, Libra Sun, Aries rising. Ooh, very good. Mary Linton. Yeah, okay, so somebody asked a question about Mercury retrograde. Let's talk about what Mercury retrograde is. First of all, astronomically, right? From an astronomical standpoint, in other words, from astronomy, what Mercury retrograde is an illusion in the sky, basically. So Mercury is still doing this, but what changes is our perspective as we're going. So sometimes also meaning predictable, 3 times a year, just about, you're able to see Mercury move backwards in the sky. That's what retrograde means. Retrograde energetically and astrologically means that it's a time to slow your communication down. It is about fixing things that are broken at large. It tends to hit electronics and misunderstanding and all that other good stuff, right? Okay, Debbie, 10 and 2, keep driving. And the idea of Mercury retrograde is an opportunity. By the way, everything in astrology is an opportunity. Cut this fire and brimstone shit. I know we just had an earthquake, but the fire and brimstone stuff and those readers that are like, this is danger. Jupiter and Uranus are getting together. Jupiter and Uranus is also going to cause a lightning storm for people that needed dramatic change or needed to catapult themselves to another level. Those things are going to happen in equilibrium. If you're not kind of doing what you're supposed to do and then you get kicked back a few notches, it's the universe saying hi, everybody. That's just the way it rolls, right? That's what we do in all of this, right? So hang on a second. Mercury retrograde gets blamed for a lot of stuff that you just simply didn't tend to. That's it, right? If your refrigerator is on the fritz and then it finally dies during Mercury retrograde and you throw up your hands and you're like, Mercury retrograde. No, you're lazy. Mercury retrograde says, here's a little more energy that it can't handle. That's all. That's all. By the way, you were going to get a new refrigerator anyways. It's just the timing of Mercury retrograde accelerated it. That's all. That's where we're at in this. So that's one component. Now, the eclipse is kind of an interesting thing because, first of all, in upstate New York, less than 45 minutes north of me, this is where it's going to go. By the way, the heat is like 1,000 degrees in here. Like it kicked on and I'm like sweating balls. The interesting thing about an eclipse is that, first of all, the astronomy of it, the moon basically cuts in front of the earth and the sun. That's it. Just gets in the way. It is a cyclical pattern. It could be an indicator of something, but what it really is a indicator of is that the moon got in the direct way of our line of sight. Again, this is always about perspective. Anything about astrology or astronomy is about perspective, right? So here you go. The moon gets in the way. It gets in the way in its totality for about 3.5 minutes. And by the way, when you watch the eclipse physically, listen to it. The eclipse actually creates a sound. Oh, and by the way, if you're outside of this, guess what we're doing on my channel? You betcha, guys. I'm going to be going live. I'm going to be going live at about 2:30. The eclipse is at about 3. Oh, actually, About an hour before the eclipse, I'm going to go live. I'm going to be all charged up. I'm going to be ready to go. And be sitting out back. Got a great spot. Now we're in the line of totality. We're on the edge, but we're in there. And, it's crazy. It's going to be crazy. They're expecting 500,000 people in the Adirondacks on that day. 500,000. The current population of the Adirondacks total from cover to cover, including cities like Plattsburgh and Rome and Poland, I think is somewhere around like 120,000. So that's just pour 500,000 people on top of that. And we want to thank, Motel 6 for, canceling all of our reservations, when we had rooms for $89 and then somehow losing our registration and then, turning it around and making it $500 a night. Real classy. Just because you don't follow astrology, that's not my problem. By the way, that didn't actually happen to us, but I heard a ton of stories about that. They suddenly, all of a sudden knew they were going to be in a class action lawsuit. I would absolutely go after them for this. And you should, right? The drive will be nuts, right? 2.5 hours. Janine, I know you're also positioned in a spot to be able to head up there. Yeah, you got to plan double time for sure. That's why we're going to kind of stay. Like, I'm okay with that. We'll be up there plenty of time, hanging out, making food, having games. The boys are excited. I told them to go play in the river, shit like that. That's what we're going to do. So the cool part about an eclipse, what does it represent astrologically? Well, astrologically, this time around, we actually have something really cool. This is one of the rare polarization, they're called polarization ones, where in 2017, we had an eclipse across the country that kind of went through the southern Midwest through Texas, what have you. I think it crossed pattern, I think, in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, somewhere around there, Kentucky. And sure enough, this eclipse is going to go over that same pattern as well. So it's actually crossing right in the heartland, which energetically now, follow along, Pluto's return here for the United States. And now, 2 eclipses where X marks the spot. Guys, you got to start paying attention. Right? It's a thing. It is an absolute thing, right? So this is a time for you to really kind of reflect. And the way that I treat eclipses, lunar and solar, is I call them unplugs, right? Other astrologers have different takes on them. I can tell you about how, the dark energy is kind of coming to light. The idea of how things are going to change are going to be specifically enticing, where it's kind of like, hey, I've always wanted to do this and now I'm going to go do it. So there are encouragements along the way. But to me, it's kind of like, if you take the energy out of it, what do you have left? And I think that we sometimes look at patterns in ourselves. It's that thing where, let's just take something benign like, say, work, right? Your job every day requires you to be there. What happens if you don't give it your all? You hear this quiet quitting thing. Well, the eclipse is kind of like quiet quitting. Oh, everybody, Penny's in the house. Penny is in her house, back from her surgery. Her update is awesome. I'm still, Penny, we'll talk about you calling me from your recovery bed. That was, the things that you said there were completely inappropriate and so welcome. It was amazing. Anyways, so with these eclipses, right, it's the idea that you're able to unplug things, right? It's not going to work. And, the fear monger of like, oh, watch out, we might have power outages and blah, 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 blah. Guess what? We're always going to have stuff like that happen. It's just going to be a natural thing that will always kind of happen somewhere along the line, right? Where things won't work or things will go awry, just like your computer is going to go on the fritz, blah, blah, blah. During Mercury retrograde, it's going to increase because it's a communication tool, right? During eclipse, it's about what do you share in your energy with. The sun represents energy. It represents joy. It represents the energy that we need. And we all synthesize the sun differently. The plants create, the photosynthesis so that then it can survive, so that then it can process air. We get vitamin D from it. There are many different ways that everything on Earth uses the sun. Now block it out for just a little bit of time, right? All of a sudden, an eclipse can give you the perspective that you need to be like, how much energy am I giving you? By the way, that's the way the sun looks at the Earth right now. Let's see how these ungrateful bastards do without all my energy for a little bit. Just a couple of seconds. Ooh. Let that one sink in, right? Let that sink in. Let you understand that, guess what? We are so ungrateful to the sun. And I'm not saying worship the sun. That's another conversation. What I am talking about is, how many times do we not take the opportunity to go outside in the sun? How many times do we not plant things? We don't grow our own food. I'm going to tell you, 87% of all of you don't grow anything, let alone anything edible. Right? So we have all of these opportunities, but we've created this lifestyle where we just ignore stuff. So guess what? The sun's like, try and do without me for a little bit. Right? Of course we react in Armageddon. Notice how all the panic is about what you would do without the sun for 3 seconds. Holy shit, guys. It becomes a social construct for people. It becomes an understanding of like, oh no, what do we have? We've got nothing. We have to beg for it. Please, sun, come back. Now think about during medieval times when we didn't necessarily have the prediction tools. And by the way, every single eclipse is predicted from now until 4228. Like, I mean, it's mapped out. Every Mercury retrograde. Like, we figured it out, guys. We figured out patterns. Oh, patterns. Here we are again, taking a look at astrology and patterns. What's our pattern here? What do we keep giving our energy to that doesn't give it back? Quite frankly, the sun is doing a power move with an eclipse, right? During a lunar eclipse, it's kind of like you reflect on what you love and, your dreams and that sort of thing. The sun is kind of like what's the shit you're doing? Oh, and in Aries, come on, dog. Aries is about doing the work. Aries is the taskmaster, right? And the moon shows up. By the way, when the moon is in front of the sun, it's not so pretty all of a sudden, right? Oh, I love the moon. Well, it's a new moon. By the way, astrologically and in astronomy, it is the new moon. Why is it the new moon? Is right next to the sun. The thought process is that the moon goes past the sun and gets filled up again, right? It gets renewed. And then as it travels, it kind of becomes full, keeps feeding into it. It uploads. And then when it's far away or in opposition, as we say in astrology, it is a full moon. It gets full of its light. And then it slowly wanes, right? Goes through the waxing gibbous, goes through the quarter moon, and then back around again to be renewed. Each one of those phases are different aspects of our life. During the new moon, it's about renewal, right? Rejuvenation. It's also about focusing in on what's important to you. In Aries, pay attention. Pay attention. I have a chart somewhere, and I want to make sure I get it right. It says we do some of these readings. By the way, I have a little skit prepared. I hope you guys do like it. One of the yes, I was just answering you. So those of you that are looking up in the up behind me, you notice that that something's kind of missing, right? Right. So who's missing back there? Yeah, it's our friend. It's our friend. It's our friend Bob. Our friend Bob has gone missing, everybody. You know why? There was a little shakedown. I love that you guys are supporting Penny. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, Bob's a missing. Bob is evidence that there was a little bit of an earthquake here. today. Bob, you're on the spot. Can you tell us what happened, Bob? What? I was scared. Everything started shaking. Next thing I know, I fell down. I was in the middle of my finest work. It was going to be amazing. Yes, and it was going to look a little different. Yes, it was going to have its own creativity. But everything was shaking. My hair, my paintbrush, everything. Everything was painted. Everything. I'm sorry. I can't. Poor Bob. Yes, Gail, poor Bob. So guess what? Bob, could you show us one of your paintings? I don't want to show you my painting. I can't show you the painting. Bob, just show the painting. Bob, it'll just take a second. I mean, come on. How different was it? It was so different. Wilson's still up there. Here we go. Bob, that looks awful. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see how terrible it is? It's awful. Look at this. My hand was shaky. There were cracks in the thing, and it looks like a big giant. I started drawing penises. All right, why did you start doing that? I don't know. I don't know. But the outer psyche becomes the inner psyche. And I was making happy mistakes. And then all of a sudden, I was drawing brick buildings. I was in a Pink Floyd video. I didn't know what else to do, and it was a flashback. It was more of a trip, really. And as I was, and there was smoke on the mountains, and trees. I have trees. I forgot to draw the trees. So that was my work here today. That was awful. I will tell you though that I did start singing. It's funny you just said that. Happy Little Quakes. One of my favorite albums of all times is Tori Amos's Little Earthquakes, and I know many of you enjoy it as well. But go back and listen to that song during an earthquake or during an eclipse. Magic mushroom shake out of the ground. It could happen. All right, guys, let's do some readings here. First of all, how is this going to affect you guys, right? How is this going to, the buildup of Uranus and Jupiter. Yeah, Penny, we were actually talking about that earlier. This is, you look at, whenever you get an earthquake, you always look at for Uranus and Mars, right? You've got Mars and Pisces, which is kind of a little bit of a chill pill, but not all at the same time. Can you turn off the heat? It's like 1,000 degrees in here. That's what happens when things are rolling. You look at Uranus and you look at Mars, you look at Saturn too. I mean, you got Saturn, moving through what it's going to do here with Mars. So you've got a couple of maleficent things here that are kind of hanging out in junction, right? So yeah, a lot of reasons for earthquakes, but let's, Tori Amos forever. Let's talk about this here, right? So we're going to do the Aries first of all. Who do we got as an Aries rising? I know we had an Aries rising. And by the way, guys, we're going to do 12 readings here. We're going to talk about what this eclipse is going to be for you. I want to know your rising sign because that is going to be the position in which the eclipse is going to be happening in where your Aries house is going to be. So that's kind of how we're doing it. I know if you don't understand a single thing I just said, just tell me your rising sign. Be somewhat accurate. Hey, Terry, I think it's hysterical that you said Jello and then hello. I know you're still on. Thank you so much for joining us. So where's my Aries rising? There we go. Adrian. How are you, Adrian? Hope you're still on here. This is for you and all Aries rising. So this is happening near your first house, if not in your first house, right? So as a rising sign that is connected to your first house, you guys are really, this is empowering. You've got to embrace this. It's a true self-calling. So this read is going to be about how you're going to connect the dots for your personal journey, your passions, right? So one of the things that we have to remember is that we can make mistakes and then we get reset. I mean, that's life. That's being human, right? So one of the things about an Aries, God bless all of you, whether you're sun or moon or rising, is that you just have this incredible taskmaster thing. Oh, by the way, full disclosure, this is going to be hysterical if this is what's going on. This deck feels a little full. I might not have just one deck here. I didn't have time to kind of sort this out. It's part of the reason why you guys love me. My lack of professionalism, but sheer honesty. It just makes me authentic, right? Like kind of like, I don't really care. I am wearing pants though, so we got that going on. So, anyways, back to the show. So, Aries, your identification of yourself, you have no problem putting yourself first. And a lot of people get that, like, rubs them the wrong way. But truth be told, we need that leadership. We need that cardinal energy that you are to do the shit we do. We need you to go in and be like, there's my thing and I'm going to idea it, right? We need those ideas to get us going. Super cool, right? All right, let's roll them out. You guys know how I do this. I'm going to roll out 3. And then, of course, I'm going to roll out. I'm still going to work with the Leo Marchetti deck for the second call response. And then, of course, I can't get away from these. I can't get away from these. I love them. Don't ask me what they are. They're over there. All right, guys, here we go. Aries rising, price dropper bag in view. Professional as always. Listen, this is a journey. Life is a highway. And we're going to rock it all night long. Oh, yeah. Aries, of course. Your patients are well-to-do. Oh, I love it. And the devil card comes out. Aries, listen, we're blocking the sun for you, for crying out loud. You're going to get a little devil action here. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, because in a nutshell, what this is telling me is that not only is this about embracing the journey, it's really going to take off, but recognize what you need to do on this earth. The devil does not represent maleficent attitudes necessarily. It's actually a stability of what you need, right? So the devil card on a negative side of it is what you're trapped into, the carnal things, the addictions, that sort of thing. But the devil card has that really slender thing that can really help you. And that's structure. That's that Capricorn energy. That's that Saturn energy. Bing again. By the way, if I was going to look at this as a timing card, and by the way, students, I know you guys watch this. I know you guys are like, is he consistent with his teaching? I sure shit am. This is literally talking about how this probably started at the beginning of this eclipse season, which started back in October. Then we're talking about Cancerian time. So during this time, you got a lot of activity going on. The 6 of Swords represents the journey. Not always easy, but it's not so long, so it's not as difficult. Then you got yourself taken off. And then you got the devil card basically saying it's a grounding. But you got to do it the right way. Don't get overcommitted. By the way, I don't edit my cards, guys. I am going to go upright, though. I do declare that. So the Hierophant is about something that you need to learn about doing it the right way, not being over your skis, right? Kind of bringing it in. Got this Wounded Warrior thing. You've been through some shit, Aries rising. But let me tell you, the 2.0 card comes out. The Judgment card. Boom! This reading can't get any better, Aries rising. Here it is. What this is telling us is that the journey that you have been on is talking about you getting to a place where you're in charge. You've learned some lessons. Maybe you went too fast. Maybe you got to slow down a little bit. But when you go fast again, that experience, oh yeah. Yeah, it is a little heavy, CC. But here's where I turn it. This Judgment card, judgment isn't judgment, especially when I talk about it. This is about recreating yourself. This is about taking all of those experiences and seeing how you want it to look next time. Thank you very much, 2.0 card. How rock and roll is that? This is kind of a rock. This is like I'm a rock star. Don't you know who I am? There's a look that's the Aries here, by the way. Where are we going with this one? Yeah, it's hard work. I love it. How about today? I am grateful. I don't know, Aries. I'm not going to tell you your business, but I'm going to tell you your business. Where to go? Who am I? Where am I at? Don't you know who I am? I am grateful. I am grateful. I am grateful. I am back in view. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having a journey that makes you screwed up, that makes you feel like you're wounded. that makes you feel like you're not broken. You're not broken at all, Aries. Aries rising. And that devil card, maybe you do got to get a little carnal in order to heal. You know, the Dark Night of the Soul is kind of fun. It's also very necessary. You got to do it. You got to be part of it. So, Adrian, I'm so sorry. I basically pulled out the devil card and let you know what the heck's going on. But it's good. It's all good in the hood. How about a little Taurus rising? How about some Taurus that'll be rising up to get a reading? And there'll be sun. It'll be behind the moon. And then we'll think it's the end of time. And then the sun will come out again. The sun will come out in 4 minutes. I swear it's just a stupid eclipse. But there'll be panic. Do we not have a Taurus rising? What in the heck fire are we doing here? Hey, Taurus rising, chime in again because I can't find you going back. I don't see it. Brandon the musical. You have no idea. Actually, I've got some news coming. I've got so many major announcements here. Me. Oh, Tina and Gail. Boy, that's really cool. All right. Tina and Gail chiming in one after another here. Tina, I'm going to put you here. Me. You're going to be there. Magical Mermaid. Oh, I don't know what those are. Those glasses. I'm a T rising. That sounds weird. Kind of cool though. Gail. All right, guys, we're going to dive in here. Gail, I'm going to leave you up because you said Taurus. All right, guys. So here we go. Taurus. Taurus kind of has an interesting vibe here, right? Because of course, this is kind of hitting you in the 11th here. Or hitting you here in the 12th because this eclipse is about your inner world. You're going to let go of old patterns. Expect a lot of growth time here. And I expect these cards to reflect it, by the way, right? So the Aries reading was really about you being like, okay, you're on a journey. Just don't overdo it. Don't go devil on us, right? You guys are going to look at this as your personal emotional growth. Kind of important, don't you think? This is about how you're going to structure it. This is about how you're going to rock and roll it, right? This is about your foundation. This is about what you see here. So guess what? Out of the gate, oh yeah, you're trying to get the higher ground. Seven of Wands comes out and talks about, basically this is the, this is the Anakin versus Obi-Wan, right? I have the higher ground. You can't jump over me. Are you kidding me? Seven of Wands and then the Eight of Swords. Guess what? You must go within. What did I just say? What did I just say about this? Right? And guess what? Bit of a fight on your hands. So you're going to have to kind of secure where you're at so that then you really break old patterns. This is tough. Taurus rising. There it is. Holy Toledo. I am not holding back on these readings today, am I? Because guess what? You might have gotten the upper hand because you've already changed. The Death card comes out, says hello to you. I can't make up these cards, guys. I shuffle again and again. But when one of them talks to the other one, this is about your own internal battle with trusting your intuition. The Five of Wands connected to the Eight of Swords. This is about letting everything go by, but you love a good distraction. You love to be like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? Where would I go? Where would I go with this? You know why? This is an inner balance for you. Wow. Oh. How about a Taurus card, everybody? How about the Two of Pentacles? How about the first week of Taurus right here? Boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much. By the way, Mercury goes retrograde the first week of Taurus again, or comes out of retrograde. Stop, Brandon. Starts going forward again. First week into Taurus, a couple of days into it, really. So this is a time for you to really kind of look at how you're changing, how you judiciously use your upper hand, how you let distractions come into you. This is a distraction combination to me. The 5 of Wands along with the 8 of Swords, come on. Go within. Don't let anybody in. Don't give anybody the passcode. Don't leave a key out there. That ex from 3 years ago that still has a key, call them up and get it back. I'm telling you, they're going to try and show up and disturb your peace. And then you have this, again, I call them the Lord of the Fly cards. Thank you very much. And then you got the 2 of Pentacles here. Come on. This is about you finding your inner balance. You're going to strike that inner balance. What words of wisdom can we give to you? Talk about patterns. Talk about changing your patternistic value. I inhale. I exhale. I repeat. This is a message about changing your patterns. This is about changing your challenges, right? This is about you being drawn into it, right? Yeah, Jeanette, just back up a little bit. We just talked about Aries. But listen, I love this read. I love everything about this read, because what this read is telling you is that you've been there, you've done that. You got to go within. You got to trust your own mojo. Trust your own mojo. I love it. I love it. And oh, by the way, there's a rainbow at the end of that. There's real happy. The 2 of Pentacles. Let's talk about the 2 of Pentacles in this deck here. So he did 2 things here with his interpretation of it. He's got the ships in the background, and in the Rider-Waite, there's the infinity sign where he's kind of juggling the 2 of them. But instead, he's got the rainbow there. Now, what the rainbow represents in all tarot, you see it prominently in the 10 of Cups, is that it's kind of like a happiness. This is you being happy, Taurus rising. By the way, this is the first week of Taurus, if you're following the astrological calendar. Is the 2 of Pentacles. By the way, if you like this, I got a tarot class. You'd love it. But this represents kind of that happiness with being busy, right? It is not about being, kind of like busy for busy's sake. It's like task mastering to help one another. So you find balance and happiness with it, right? All right. Listen, let's get some Gemini in here. Let's really mix this up. Let's make this a party. I know I saw a Gemini rising. Tina is Taurus. Yep. And Taurus sun. There you go. More to the rising there, Penny. But you know the trick. We'll get to us Leos here in a second. See what I'm saying? All right, Gemini rising. Anybody, come on in. Somebody Gemini rising it. Forced on me, but accepting it for now. Sometimes, Janice, sometimes it's one of those things where when you connect the dots, that is a thing. Top. Oh, geez. You're making me work, Cece. There you go. Kathleen, how are you? Me. Somebody say, just type Gemini so that I know where the heck we are. There we go, Magical Mermaid. There we go. Michelle, thank you again. Yes. Gonna shout out to all you guys, all these Geminis. I don't know what a Gemini riding is, but thanks for joining. You know what? I'm leaving that there. Michelle, thank God. You can't change it. You cannot change it. No changes. All right, so you Gemini ridings, let me just have fun. So this is really kind of like your social structure here, because this is going through your 11th. It's going to cut right through you. This is about you wanting to really find people that are on the same page as you. You're always a good time, Gemini. You just are. Clearly, you're riding. But you're also going to be in a position where you're going to want like-minded people. This is you seeking out other air signs. That's a thing. That's a huge thing, really. But then you also have the idea that you might feel spent if you're kind of, nobody puts baby in a corner, right? That's Gemini rising right now during this. You want to be out there. You want to be connected. You want to use all of your skills and your abilities for the greater freaking good, right? It's happening in your 11th house, kids. This is about extended social structure. So let's get to it, right? Oh, I can't wait to see these guys, right? It is, Terry, nothing's better than Jello. Let's be honest, right? Ugh. Michelle's just like, what did you do today? Well, my fingers told a different story than my brain, which, by the way, is me on a regular basis. But Gemini rising, here we go. Not to be confused with Eight of Pentacles, hard work. You guys find social endeavors hard work, not because you're sweating, but because you're just like, okay, I got to meet everybody. This is fun. We're having a great time here, right? Come on. Are you kidding me? Expect the unexpected, kids. Tower card comes out. Have you ever been in that spot for a while and you're so worried about losing that spot that all of a sudden you lose that spot and then everything else comes in perfectly? Gemini, I can't make this up. All right, quick read on this. Your hard work is going to pay off with something quick and sudden. Let Jupiter and Uranus hang out together, kids. Let them hang out. Let them kind of do the hoo-hoo. Oh, and by the way, maybe somebody can look this up. If I was a, oh God, I wish I had this memorized. I wish I was a little more prepared on this, but I'm kind of wondering where Uranus and Jupiter are going to be for you. I have a friend of mine that is a Gemini rising. I'm going to look this up real quick because listen, the happiness card comes out. You know, the better than marriage card, right? It is the marriage card. Please hold. Please hold. So if I was a Gemini rising, Gemini rising. Yeah, if you're Gemini rising, you're I went a little crazy with that one, didn't I, Brandon? Yeah, this is happening in your sixth house. So this is about moving and shaking people around you. So as much as this is a great networking time, that's what this is, right? You got Uranus and Jupiter connecting the dots for you in your sixth house, Gemini rising, and the eclipse is happening in your career house. Guess what? You're about to network the shit out of this. Expect a new beginning because this marriage card right here, oh my God, everybody's like, oh no, not the tower. Fuck yeah, the tower, Gemini. How do you think Gemini's riding? All right, let's do a little answer call here, right? By the way, it has been hard work. You've had some lessons. By the way, you also realize some of the people in your life, not so good. Not so cool, brother. And guess what? This tower, you're going to be a class act. You're going to be like, why, yes, hello. Yes, I was a nanny on the Upper West Side. Right over by there. I used to work with the banks, you see, because I'm practically perfect in every way. You are going to be the right person in the right place at the right time. The Nine of Pentacles along with the Tower. Are you freaking kidding me? Your charm is everything. Oh, come on, Gemini rising. I can't go on. I feel like the James Brown of tarot. Are you kidding me? You get the Four of Wands along with the Ten of Cups. Are you kidding me? We couldn't try to do this. Oh my gosh, Cece, you're blowing us up here. Holy Toledo. Other strong Gemini placements, pay attention. Pay attention. Your 10th house is getting some love here, right? Hey, Kathleen, you also pointed out that you're Gemini rising here. By the way, Michelle, forever in our hearts, you're riding. But Kathleen, pay attention to your career. All right, here's a little advice. Come on. You be you. You be you. I follow my passion and explore what lights up my soul. What lights up your soul? Connecting with people. Being a flibberty gibbet. Hold on. Get focused. Back to me. Maybe a little bit. I'm a little fuzzy, but it's all good. Remember the movie Joe versus a Volcano? Classic Gemini. Meg Ryan plays like 4 different parts. One of them is the one where she talks like this, and she's like, well, all of these rumors and talks about everybody else and everything else. And she goes, I'm a flibberty gibbet. This is her. I'm the Liberace of tarot. I'm gonna put that under review. Liberace of tarot. I could bring out the guitar and the music though. I think I might just do that. Gemini, I love this. Love this for you. You got a couple of hiccups. By the way, that quick and sudden change out of that, I am so digging that for you. I am so digging that for you. It is so awesome. And by the way, I am looking for the Cancerian rising here. Cancer is rising, Cancerian rising. Oh, there was the other Taurus I was looking for. Adela, I hope you got something out of that read. I saw you. I kept rolling over. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so we're looking for Cancer risings here. Cancer risings, you're going to be paying attention to some other cool energies here because this is going to go into your ninth. This eclipse is going to be in your ninth. Somebody come up with a Cancer rising. Anybody? Oh, there you go. Tina, we're on it. Look at that. Tina, this one's for you. And all the other Cancerian risers. There we go. I'll say English is a second language, really. This eclipse is going to be also kind of in that career side of it. So this is really hitting the true 10th, right? Gemini, you're going to be half in the 11th and the 12th, but expect those things to really kind of network into you. This is encouraging you to step into your power and your personal successes. Great time to start a new business. Good time to really kind of renegotiate a contract. Good time for you to really kind of lock and load that for one way or another. We're going to get you. We're going to get you. Here we go. Here, come on. Because Cancer, this is about family. Cancer, you're going to talk about family here. You're going to talk about where you're going with this. This is about you taking charge of it. And then take them on a spiritual journey. Cancer rising. Turn towards the family here. Right? You got the 10 of Cups. You got the Eternal Happiness card. You got the King of Wands, which is taking charge. And then the Hermit, which is taking spiritual responsibility. Be prepared to become a teacher. And by the way to be a leader. And if he's bald and about, 5'10", wears a red sash, carries a scroll, well, he just might be the emperor. Just going to put that out there for you. Cancer rising. Wow. A lot of happiness coming out of this. Cancer, you deserve it, though. Right? When you take charge, you will prosper. And by the way, let's not forget the Lady in Grace here. The Queen of Cups comes out of this. Cancer rising. This is going to be you taking your own power back. This is you taking it through being yourself. It is you talking about being graceful. By the way, Queen of Cups here, ultimate in water signs, feminine water signs. What are you, Cancer? Ding, 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 ding. The Hermit, that spiritual, intuitive energy. The King of Wands combined with the 10 of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? This is you just going like, okay, guys, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. And this is why we're going to be awesome. And guess what? I bring joy into the world through laughter and giving. Cancer risings, I cannot give you enough of this love right here. This is for you on your journey. This is for you during the eclipse. You need this eclipse, I think. Aries being a cardinal sign, Cancer's being a cardinal sign, there are similarities here. And by the way, just to let you know, there is a patternistic code in astrology where I need it to be over. Okay. Or you can just quit and, go sit in the back and drink out of all the 10 of those cups. I don't know what to tell you. There, I'm your life coach. So one of the things about Cancer is, like, you guys have been through this blend, right? One of the tricks in astrology is to look at either, of course, are you a fire sign, water sign, that sort of thing, but pay attention to the fixed, mutable, and cardinal energy. Cardinal energy creates natural trines, right? It allows you, there are 4, so that's why we have like fixed grand crosses, mutable crosses, cardinal crosses, that sort of thing, or trines. It is where complemental energy in the element exists. So with Aries, you have fire and cardinal energy. When Aries get their mind made up, they just run through the brick wall. Like they're the Kool-Aid man. Like, oh yeah, like that's Aries, right? Cancer becomes the mama bear because also like nobody's going to mess with them. They're going to be cardinal. They're going to be like, I'm going to attack you first. And I don't care what you think of me because I'm protecting my young. That both have the exact same energy. One went through a brick wall. The other one defended the family, but it's that same cardinal energy. That cardinal means initiation. Cardinal means taking the initiative, right? So those two energies combined are kind of sort of kick-ass, right? All right, guys, what comes after Cancer? Anyone in Cancer? Anyone come after Cancer for the rising? By the way, total plug. Down there in when I was visiting our good friend Tina. That show was a lot of fun this past weekend. And you got to grab a little nosh before you go there. Oh, come on, really? Back to me. Hold on, get into focus. I really need. I thought it was really cool to have it on like autofocus. Anyways, let's just keep going. Anybody know any Leo risers? Anyone? You know who I'm looking for, guys. Right? You know I'm looking for her. Is she still on? I mean, for crying out loud. Thank you. Yeah, down in Bainbridge, Tina's got an incredible shop down there. If you guys are anywhere in the Northeast, hold on. It's just good TV, right? I should have been saying something smooth. Yeah, down in Bainbridge, Seven Stones. Go check them out. Go like them on Facebook. Wednesday nights, she has an auction on Facebook and Instagram. I think it goes over to Instagram as well. Her stuff is fantastic. Like I have never seen somebody turn over a crystal shop that quickly, that well in a long time. It's been a while. I'm going to pick this one here, our favorite Leo rising. By the way, you guys do know that that's what Penny and I have in common, and that's also the reason why. It's why we go back and forth a little bit. I just, anybody that properly uses the word Uranus, Jupiter, these quakes, oh my gosh, let's just mispronounce everything. I'm only kidding. Here we go, guys. So we're going to have a great time. Sam, so good to see you, Mama Cat. Yeah, okay, all right, fine. I'll switch it over here. That's fine. I just wanted to see Penny say Uranus. So anyways, guys, having fun. Oh, I'm seeing Mama O out there. Nicoletti. Is it Lecky? There you go. New to the crowd here. Leo the 7th. Interesting combination. Libra's coming up next there, Kim. Hang on. Napoleon, maybe. Not yet. Very cool. Amy, good to see you, love. Sam, awesome to see you as well. I'll switch you guys back and forth. First up there, though, we're going to honor Penny with all of this. Oh, yeah, Leo Risings. We're going to hang out together. Here we go. Knight of Wands comes out. What else? My namesake card, the 9 of Cups. That is, 12th house, Uranus representing here, guys. Oh, this is going to be so good. Nope, I'm going in order. Virgo's coming up here soon in a while. Guys, Knight of Wands. 9 of Cups. Hangman. Little personal attribute right here. Here we go, guys. So the Knight of Cups comes out, or the Knight of Wands comes out because the Knight of Wands is like, holy shit, I'm going to do something different. I mean, I'm just going to do it different. I don't really care where it kind of goes. A little immature, not fully formed thought pattern. And by the way, if any of you know me at all, not a lot of development up here. Just this is a bunch of shit things coming out of my pie hole. And then you've got the 9 of Cups, though. This is about abundance and sharing. So maybe this is a new line of thinking and connecting with how things are kind of flying, right? 9 of Cups is really kind of about, I want to share with you my abundance. I want to share with you my ideas. And I'm not letting cats out of the bag anymore because things that I've said on this, like, I found that some people just wanted the run of me talking about it, and then they pull it, and then they move it, and I'm just like, I'm done. I'm going to wait till this is secure, but I'm going to tell you this resonates with me. I want to be able to bring my gifts to people that need it and be able to do kind of a fundraiser kind of feel with it to organizations that need it, like can actually benefit from me showing up and doing readings. There we go. I figured it out. That's it in a nutshell. But the Hangman comes out. This is 12th house action here, guys. There's a little Pisces. This is Uranus. This is the quick and sudden. Oh, I didn't see it that way. You didn't see this coming. Well, guess what else you didn't see coming? How about the Seven of Pentacles? How about reaping what you're sowing? You know what this is? This is you coming up with a bunch of ideas, Leo rising. Oh, yeah, here you go. Oh, I fucking love this. So the Nine of Cups and the ultimate of spreading your energy with. The Two of Swords. Who you going to spend time with? Who you going to unplug? That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, my gosh. And then the Page of Wands. Maybe this is bringing in the feminine energy along with the masculine energy. So the Knight of Wands is masculine, and then the Page of Wands is oh wow, the Page of Wands being the feminine energy, the Knight being external. This is telling us to go within and take a look when we make our choices. Be like, follow your gut. That person, that friend, that goofball that isn't really in your back court with this, it's okay to move on. Right? But you don't have to be mean about it. But look at this. This is about sharing your energy. It's changing your attitude. I don't know, Leo Risings. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about this? Because this is a thing. Sam, what do you think about this? This has more to do with energy to me than anything else. What are you going to spend your time and energy on? Should I do more live videos? Should I do more in-person videos? Should I... There's so many ways to go about this, right? We got Leo rising in the house, don't we? Holy Toledo. Hey, Kathy, I'm glad you like the cup. Our old friend Jenny. Jenny, I hope you're doing well. We're going to have you come on and do some card readings too. And Nick, one of our new good friends. Need work. Thanks. Hey, listen, you know what though? This is you know what this is? This is going through the cycle. This eclipse is going to help you boundary up your energy, your efforts, your idea. If you want to be a writer, go be a writer. You want to be a musician, go be a musician. Focus your energy around what you want to share and do it. My day begins and ends with love and gratitude. I'm not going to mess with my camera anymore. Yes, I will. By the way, one of the traits that I have is as soon as I say I'm not going to do it, I just go ahead and do it. It's a thing. People have told me to work on it. And you know who I call those people? Former counselors. All right. So, Leo love. Whew. How'd you feel about that? Yeah, Sam, I'm glad you enjoy it. And by the way, Leos, the thing that you really have to look at this through, this is about your ninth house. This is about an expansion. This is about looking at your new belief system. You weren't doing it wrong. You did it the way you did it during that time. So now as this kind of expands and as it hits your ninth house, this eclipse hits your ninth house, this is about you. I go get that. What makes Leo risings, Leos in general, really good at what they do is natural curiosity and just going down rabbit holes and never coming out of them until you're satisfied. The thing that kills a Leo and a Leo rising is the ego that's attached to it. I know more than you. Listen, just talking honestly, we get together every other Thursday. That's what it looks like, right? Fantastic. Virgo, I know you're out there. I know you're out there. No, that where it was? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Virgo risings. Holy Toledo. We got to talk about this Virgo rising. We got to go into this. We got to go into this. Magical Mermaid. How you doing, Love Doug? Whew. You guys got a lot here. Hey, Mama. Oh, I'm so glad it is on point. Magical Mermaid, one of our favorite screen names ever. We love you. Haiti, thank you so much for being here. Wendy, we're going to say yes to this because I know you're kind of on the Virgo rising. Guys, this one's, I don't even have to turn over the cards. I already know. I know this is going to be a ball buster because this is hitting your 8th house. When things happen in your 8th house, first of all, You want to, it's kind of like, I haven't done it, but from the experiences that I've heard of people doing ayahuasca, you got to be in a safe place. You Virgo risings, you have to be in a safe place. It's hitting your 8th house. Put on a couple of layers. The clothes might come off. I'm just letting you know. You might just be like, that's it. The lights are off. Everybody's naked. It's like, hold on a second. You're in front of like 20,000 people. Don't do that. Okay, Virgo's risings. This eclipse is going to be about your intimate relationships, right? Do not discourage yourself. Be able to let yourself, don't shame yourself, right? This is your goddess time, to be honest with you, right? This is a deep emotional connection. This is about, I mean, listen, when in doubt, the earthquake was happening, right? Love the one you're with, right? Like, okay, if this is it, we're going out. Like, why'd you take off all your clothes? It's like, right? You're going to feel like this, Virgo risings, right? And by the way, you guys are like, what? I'm like 2 steps away from being a nun. Doesn't matter. It's a good time to lose the garb, I'll tell you, right? Judy, I hope you're hearing all of this. Mama, oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for hanging out. Virgos, 2 of Wands right out of the gate. So this is a high action card for you. This is going to have you really make some contemplative choices. And oh yeah, you guys were so due for this. Wheel of Fortune hits the board, but wait, there's more. Ace of Wands. If that doesn't scream, I mean, what? So you got the 2 of Wands. Let us choose wisely with our connection. By the way, you with the soulmate, it's going to be a good day. Going to be a good day. Climb under that blanket, though. There are decency laws, right? And then the Ace of Wands. The quiet, subtle, phallic Ace of Wands. Literally saying to you, like, welcome to the 8th house. Would you like 1 or 2? Listen, I just read them. Right? By the way, here we go. 5 of Pentacles, you might feel like you're out in the cold a little bit. Like you might really be in a position where you're like, holy Toledo, what am I connecting with? What am I doing here? I'm doing all the work. Remember that unplug thing? By the way, Wheel of Fortune, Virgo risings. This is about you being happy. And then, of course, we're going to cover the Ace of Wands with the King of Cups. Self-love is the basis of all love. Listen, you can love the one you're with, but you got to start with you. This is a goddess code to me, and this is waking you up, this positioning for you to connect with your inner truth, your intimacies. And by the way, intimacy is just another level of communication, right? How do you talk to one another? You can have a conversation, have it be very intimate. You can get naked, be very intimate. You could hold hands and just emotionally be there and hold somebody. Also communicating intimacy, right? This is about you maybe even sharing your deepest inner thoughts. This might also be you pulling back based on the reading, pulling back on this going, I don't need outside externalization. Because when I do that with the 2 of Wands, I feel like I'm doing it by myself. Right? It's like Adam Ant said, you don't drink, you don't smoke. What do? It's kind of like what's your vice here? Why don't you share me with your vice? No, I'm not going to share that with you because it's still good, right? So you got the 4 of Wands here sitting on top of the Wheel of Fortune. And guess what? That is you know what that's telling us? You're going to be happy. You're meant to be happy, Virgo risings. Oh my gosh. Why don't you look back at your memories from a year ago? No, we don't live in the past here, Windows. But Virgo rising, I wake each day with a grateful heart and a clear mind. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is you clearing your conscience. This is you being able to be like, oh, there you go. I got some stuff coming up, Gina. Good to see you. No, this is pretty balls. I mean, it really is. Virgo, listen, sometimes you guys get the short end of the stick because it's kind of like, I'm too Virgo for you. I'm too whatever. Cut it out. Judy, this is a good time. It's a good time. And by the way, whenever I joke around, first of all, the 8th house is it's the Scorpio house. So it kind of has that quiet, secret, intimate side of it. But Scorpio, part of what makes Scorpio so good is that they create a nation of two. It creates a connection with another person. It creates this is just us. It's us against the world, right? This eclipse is saying, remember who you are in it, so that then you can connect with the other person. Yeah, you might kind of have to do some of the work, but guess what? That's you're kind of used to it. It's how you're built. But more importantly, that's your role to it. See where you can get that connection. Your fate is about being happy, right? Did I skip one? Oh, I didn't forget about it. I did not forget about it. So Virgo, good luck in that. Now we're going to go on to Libra. Thank you so much. Does it help? This I want to take a little bit of a sip break here, right? And we're going to dive into the Libra rising next. So does it help if we are 100% in the eclipse zone? Maybe. I think it's a cool spectacle. I'm going to see it because, well, I'm kind of a geek. I'm going to geek out on it. I got my glasses. I also got my celestite, by the way. Get some apophyllite. Get some celestite. 2 great eclipse stones. Mixed messages on whether or not to put, I've been telling some people this, not to put their crystals out in the eclipses. Here's my take on it. You've got to really set your intention no matter. If you want to hang out with your crystals, hang out with them, but work with them. I don't think we're like in a normal full moon. You're like, I put my crystals out in the full moon. That's a natural grab and go energy. Everybody's kind of happy with it. They come back and they're like, okay, cool. When you work with the eclipse, work with your crystals when you do it. I am going to be doing some apophyllite. My team's going to have some celestite. The boys are going to have crystals and throw them at one. And, you want to have some good grounders in there. You want to have a little, maybe some tourmaline black or brown. Also, if you're worried about connecting, if you're worried about things like, and again, I don't buy too much into this, there is a belief that these eclipses are portals. If you're worried that you're not spiritually or energetically up to it, grab some malachite. You can order it now and get it in time. Malachite is one of the most protective stones. I've had malachite with me when I've traveled, and I've had some nefarious shit go down. And guess what? And by the way, sometimes it's people just don't know the difference. But my malachite was broken in 2. Malachite will take a hit for you. So, gosh. She's a triple. Oh, okay. She was just getting noticed. It's all good, guys. But these eclipses with the crystals, have a good relationship with them. If you're just going to put them out at night, don't do that. If you're just going to put them out in the eclipse, don't do that. You want to bring them out there and work with them and meditate with them. Fucking rock star, man. That's how you do it. All righty, Libra rising. How are you doing, Libra rising? Oh, Penny, good night, Penny. What time is it there? 9:30? Oh, it's your bedtime anyways, with or without meds. Oh yeah, and oh gosh, Magical Mermaid, thanks for mentioning that. Your hey Cindy Lou. Lightning quartz are a big deal. Lumarian crystals are a big deal. I would work with Arkansas. I would work with Herkimers. Herkimers are going to be another thing. We're going to have a bunch of Herkimers. We're going to bury some up on our space that we're going to be in. Normal shit that we do. By the way, that's my ragtag band of fun seekers. Same day, different joke. Exactly. Oh my gosh. We've always got Herkimers ready to go. We've always got energetic crystals to rock and load with. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Have fun with it. All right, guys. So let's get into the Libra rising. Can we, please? Oh my gosh, we got 6 more signs. By the way, guys, I've been live like an hour and a half. This is what happens when somebody has to reschedule because their technology is all sideways. All right, Libra rising. How about you do some work? Oh, I'm feeling Libras are going to be working here. By the way, before we go any further, I do want to say that Libras, oh yeah, this is going to energize partnerships. So you're doing the work, right? This is going to be about finding balance between your harmony in relationships. Go ahead and embrace those new beginnings, because anything that's kind of new for you right now is really solid. Like, relationships are key. You want balance. By the way, just to let you know, this is happening in your 7th house. What's the 7th house? You're a Libra. Partnership choices. I love this. So this is talking about doing the work, reaping what you sow, keep it in balance. Don't take too much, but make sure that what you got is good for everybody, right? Oh yeah, you're really fostering a lot of good relationships now, Libra rising. New ideas. Look at this, a double sword action. You got the Justice card holding the sword. It's in, like, this is about ideas. This is about being around like-minded, kick-ass people, right? And by the way, value your own energy. That is the King of Swords on top of the Lovers card. And by the way, when the King of Swords gets on top of the Lovers. Anyways, is that an Eiffel Tower? What is that? I don't know. I'm just making up stuff, right? Debbie, I see you as well here in the Libra rising. So you've got to pay attention to your relationships, right? You've got to pay attention to doing the right things in those relationships. Choose wisely. These swords are like, this is a mindset. This is a mind to the set, right? You've got 2 mindset cards here with the Ace of Swords as well as the King of Swords. This is about balance. This is about reaping what you sow. The 6 of Cups is about that new generated thing. You've got double swords here with the Ace and then the Justice. And then the Lover's card is about choosing. Maybe this is about, if I was going to spend a little bit of time in contemplation here, okay, Libra rising, I would spend a little bit of time thinking about how maybe sometimes relationships weren't always equal, good or bad, with you. Maybe it was your fault. Maybe it was their. Is that a sword or a knife? I don't know. It's whatever it is you need it to be, right? But let's give a little inspiration here. Yeah, you got to trust your intuition. Love that card for you guys. Woo! I feel good about that. I think Libra's rising take the brunt the most of all the signs when things go wrong, right? I think that's just a challenge for them, straight across the board, because they feel like they're like, oh, I got to be the peacekeeper. Gemini sometimes too. You got that air energy of like, oh, I want to. Meanwhile, Aquarius are like, did I screw that up? Good, because I freaking deserved it. Libras are like, then Geminis are like, did I do that? Yeah, that's kind of how that goes. All right, guys, Scorpio risings. I know you guys are out there, so this is going to be about your routines. This is hitting your 6th house, right? This is rocking and rolling for you insofar that you're about your health and your vitality, what your personal health routines are going to be. I mean, that's a thing. What are you doing? Maybe it's not necessarily what you eat. Don't forget, a lot of health, especially when you're on a spiritual journey, right? Especially on a personal journey, a spiritual journey, is really about what you consume mentally, right? So Scorpio risings, pay attention to that. Sounds like a great chapter. Sounds like a great chapter. Libras are the only inanimate signs. Well, I don't disagree with that, but if you're going to be a sea goat, if you're going to be a mythical creature, make sure you're blended, right? Don't step on my scale with Scorpios. Holy shit. We're going to have a throwdown right here. All right, Magical Mermaid, there's no way that you're all of these things, but I love that you are calling these out. Kim, I'm glad that you're finding this resonate with you. If not, you're just, yes, Francesca, we actually spoke quite a bit about the earthquake a little bit earlier. I hope you rewind and get it all in later, but it's good. We'll keep going there. All right, so Scorpio rising. Yeah, everything I was just saying about this is hitting your 6th house, so it's really about your routine, the things that are closest to you. And as a natural Scorpio, or representing the Scorpio natural state of affairs, you're going to do it you're not taking like 20 20 different pictures, health pictures. You're going to say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take one picture of like a before and one picture of after, and the rest of it is none of your fucking business, because there's a pizza involved. There may or may not be like a cleanse in the middle of it. You might go to a day spa and be like, I don't know what you got to do, but get it out of me. You have no problem going a little bit deep. It's your dirty secret, and that's the way it is. Enjoy the Brazilian while you're there, but let me tell you, nobody's going to know about it until you see the results. Here we go. Of course. Queen of Wands. Large and in charge with this one. By the way, do we have a Scorpio rising? I'm going to go here. Thank you so much, Magical Mermaid. You rock. I know you're keeping tabs for everybody, and I love it. And then, of course, you have Page of Swords. Why not? Why not come up with a bit of a frivolous idea? Here we go. So choose your own adventure there, Scorpio rising. Scorpio rising. By the way, I want to thank you guys for really hanging out. Our numbers are strong right across the board. We still got a lot of people hanging out here. Thank you so much. Share with a friend. We're going to get a little bit faster because I know we're kind of, it's 3:33 in the East Coast time, and at 4 o'clock, somebody needs a nap before his show tonight. So the Empress comes out with the Queen of Wands. Boy, we're going to embrace the feminine energy of this. Scorpios tend to appreciate the feminine divine, but it really goes in line with the energy, that healing emotional energy, right? I think the Empress shows up here. It just doubles down on the Queen of Wands. Page of Swords. Yeah, you're going to come up quick. Like, you're going to make these changes quickly, right? And by the way, yeah, here it is. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Because you can't get away from it, Scorpio. You can't get away from self-pain. You just fucking can't. You can't do it. Sorry, I'm swearing now. I'm tired. So the 8 of Cups, which represents the choices, right? Well, here you are, Nancy. This represents the choices that you have made. And by the way, sometimes I'm going to tell you what this is. Other times when you've been faced with this challenge, you are like, do I go keto? Do I just eat salad? Do I embrace this? Do I go there? Do I do that? So you're all freaking over the place, right? And then you have anxiety about it. So you're worried about this. You're worried about you taking a look at your routines and thinking, oh no, do I have to change this? Right? That's a really key thing for you. Right? It's sitting here and basically telling you it didn't go right sometimes. So how are you going to do it differently? Come on. How about if I honor my feelings and grow amid the discomfort? I love that. Love that. Listen, a flower can't grow if it doesn't punch a hole through the dirt, kids. It's the way it goes. Best day to plant a tree was 30 years ago. Next best day is today. I don't know what that has to do with this, but here we are. It is about growth. It is about being able to kind of like take the reins yourself there, Scorpio rising. I like this reading for you. And I'm going to tell you, any of the discomfort of a Knight of Swords coming out, it's just acknowledging that you've had anxiety about owning it. That's all, because you hate failure, Scorpio risings. You hate failure. Like, you and failure go together like oil and water. Like, you're just like, even if there's failure, you're like, I don't see any failure. You're like, the house burnt down. You're not a very good fire station. And then you're like, I didn't do that. Like whatever. Own it. Yes, I'm calling that out. Nancy, I hope that resonated with you for sure. Oh, Magical Mermaid. You are keeping us together here. Gina just put malachite in my car. Yeah, that malachite's a great protector. It's also a good spiritual driver, right? Magical Mermaid telling us this. Sue, thank you too. Wow, I'm gonna go back and forth on this, guys. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So, yeah, Sag Rising. Opie, this one's for you, right? I know we had a couple of other Sag Risings. By the way, thank you for not misspelling Sag Rising. 2 of you got that joke, and 3 of you just turned me off. So there we go. A lot of police activity outside all of a sudden. Somebody hide me. I'm coming to you live from down in the basement that we don't have. There we go. Karen Rose is a Sagittarius rising. Sandra. Manuela Orchid. Good to see you, friend. Good to see you, friend. Yeah, we're going to go back and forth on this one. Karen Rose is chiming in. Sandra is coming in. Opie's coming in. It's not Opie. Much love from Germany. Opie's coming in. Good, Nancy. I'm glad. Let's stick with this one right here for a little bit. All right, Sagittarius rising. Your personal nature, of course, is going to bring you to understand during this eclipse is that this is about self-expression. This is hitting your 5th house here, kids. So this is the Leo house. This is the one about creativity and getting your name out there. And by the way, Sagittarius rising, you don't need me to tell you to go have a good time. You just don't. You just don't. This eclipse activates your creativity. It encourages you to go into precision. So this is a springboard for you, Sagittarius. Not that you need to have a fire lit under your ass, but listen, there is the positive here. What's the positive? Notice how, this is fire on fire here. Firehouse. Of course, I'm talking about, burning down a house. Are we going talking heads or are we going firehouse? Bye bye, baby, goodbye. And that was all she wrote. I finally found a love of a lifetime. And it's a Page of Cups. Feminine, self-indulgent love. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of practicality here. This is about taking a passion, reigniting it, right? Nurturing it, letting it grow, right? And then the Knight of Pentacles is about putting together a strong practical plan for it. Sagittarius, I know this is uncomfortable for you. It's called a plan, and you need to follow through with it. Okay, Sagittarius. By the way, you really want to share with the world. Maybe you had success in the past. The 6 and the 9 of Cups on top of each other, not going to say it. But sure enough, those 2 things together, you might have had success with maybe your creative endeavors before. Page of Cups. Oh, you don't just have an idea. You got a boatload of ideas. This could be a career move even. Because the Knight of Swords comes out along with the Knight of Pentacles. This is a lot of masculine doing energy. Of course, it's in the eclipse during Aries, so of course it's going to light a fire under your ass, right? You're also going to be able to. Oh my gosh, I love this read. So Sagittarius, this is about you tapping into your. What do you love? What do you love to share with people? What do you love to talk about? What are you geeking about? I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's your Bob Ross stuff. By the way, if you need an art teacher, hey, I don't care if it's your art. I don't care if it's your drawing, your writing, your whatever. Maybe you like to collect trains, Matchbox cars, baseball cards, whatever your passion is. And by the way, you got a few of them. So you might want to narrow them down and really get focused on that. But that's just me. That's just being logistical, like that Knight of Pentacles, practical with your time. How much money are you going to spend on it? What do you expect in return? And then the Knight of Swords, rather. I love this. Sagittarius, right? Everybody go find a Sagittarius rising. Make them your new best friend. They're going to be a lot of fun during this eclipse and this catapult. Hey, Mary, we got a couple of reads away, right? It's kind of fun, right? How you doing, everybody? So my advice to you, Sagittarius, is I am powerful. I am radiant. I am confident. I can't make this stuff up. If that doesn't say sitting in the 5th house of Leo, right, for your eclipse, I don't know what is. I'm just going to say good night. I'm going to do a few more. Don't worry. We're having a good time here. By the way, this is a way that I can read everybody. By the way, listen next week. Opie, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks for a shout out there. Share with your friends. Tell them about this. I'm trying to get the algorithm going here a little bit. But you're going to want to go to tbrandonruss.com, get on my email list, because next week, only people on my email list. Lenny, there you go. And Lenny, you had actually asked, another Lenny had asked another question here. Where are we from? I'm in upstate. I'm in Clifton Park sitting currently. Spot on. All right, Sandra, way to go. Gina, way to go. Lenny, hope that connected. Opie, thank you again. I'm going to be announcing kind of a new sort of product. New product, Brandon? Yes, it goes on the skin. It goes on like lotion. Actually, it's a home party. Relax. I know that I have a lot of people nationally, even internationally, and those of you, part of the reason why I don't do as many lives, or the reason why I do them kind of in between, is because I'm just so freaking busy. I'm just balls to the wall busy, and I love it. It's my life's calling. It's my work. I don't want for anything. I don't really have to advertise, although I give out coupon code stuff all the time because I know sometimes it's got to fit a budget. I'm totally down with that. I'm grateful. I work within a metric of abundance because what I receive in, I make sure it goes out either in the energy or in the money to somewhere else. You know, whether it's the 3 boys or a homeless person that I'm helping, doesn't matter. It's going somewhere, guys. And I don't say that to brag. I'm just telling you my own standard is that I know that as I create energy with this, I have to keep it going with creating more energy in other places, or at least perpetuating energy in other places. So I get asked to do home parties all the time, and I love to travel. I also need to be home sometimes before midnight. So there's that. So I am going to be introducing what I call a Zoom party, which is kind of a private thing. For instance, I had one about a couple of weeks ago, or the one that I really kind of found that fancies me fun. Fancies me fun. That's a phrase. That is so Leo rising. Fancy me fun. 8th house, anyone? But what I found is I had a group that I really enjoyed, participating in, and I did readings, and they were old college roommates, and they hadn't seen each other in about 10 years. And they were all over the country, like literally, like they were in Chicago and New Hampshire and North Dakota and North Carolina and Hawaii, and one of them was in Japan. Like they were literally scattered everywhere. This home party, this Zoom party, allowed them to all get together for a night. And guess what I did? I came in, I did the reading, and then I was like, okay, guys, I'm going to leave and you guys can hang out. Some people are done, but some people are like, thanks for the reading, or good, Brandon. But these guys wanted to catch up. I unhitched it. And I didn't record, I don't record after the readings. And again, it's up to you if I keep it or I send it. And they were up like all night on the Zoom talking to each other because they hadn't gotten caught up in a while. That's magic to me. That's magic. So that I want to kind of package into something where people can do that. So get your brain kind of going in the direction. Maybe you want to do like a family thing. Maybe you want to do something where, you want to honor a loved one and have it on a specific date, connected to an angelversary or something. It's, oh, Sue, I'm so glad you're looking for a new path. Well, here's your time. Happy eclipse season. I think it's another way. I love the creativity that you can do with this work. Anyways, so what are we on now? Thank you guys for listening to me. Great ideas come out of this. Magical Mermaid, you always got my back. I don't care what Chicago says about you. All right, Cappy Caps. Capricorn risings. Well, guess what? This is hitting your 4th house. Happy family, right? Somebody once told me happy wife, happy life, and I don't know what that is. So the solar eclipse is hitting that house and the house of family, right? This is your home. This is about being nurturing. So Capricorn rising, you're literally going to be like, I need to kind of be okay with you today. I just have to hug you. Expect yourself to want to nurture a lot of things. Speaking of nurturing, here comes the Page of Pentacles. By the way, the Pentacles being, it's nurturing in a practical way. That's what the Page of Pentacles represents here. And your anxiety, why are you always worried about everybody? Capricorn rising, because you are, and you're going to come in and do it the right way. Other earth energy here, this Taurus card, and this is literally kind of saying to you, okay, be practical. Give people practical application here. This is not about you feeling bad. This is about you applying the salve correctly. This is about you being able to be the Capricorn person that you need to be, right? But why stop there? Queen of Wands comes out. Yeah, you're going to, oh, come on. Come on, dog. Haven't seen him all day. Of course, we're going to see him here. The Magician comes out. We're pulling out all of our resources. And then the Hierophant's going, is that a Page of Swords? Because that Page of Swords looks a little Page of Swordy-ish, right? Well, guess what that is? That's you saying, I'm going to do this differently. The Magician is about pulling on all your strengths, about that anxiety that you might have, about that worry. And you know what? You're going to rise above it. You're going to get creative. Maybe it's about creative about how people stay in contact with you or how you know they're okay or they're safe. By the way, Capricorn rising, I know your work. I know your work. You care, but you don't care. You don't have a helicopter, but you do have a GPS. You know where they are. You don't want to look like you care, but you fucking care all the time. That's the way you roll, Capricorn rising. That's where you go. What advice am I going to give you? The energy I put out is equal to the energy I receive. This is a great read for you, Cappy Cap. Capricorn rising. Part of the feeling that you get with that is like, don't you listen, Capricorn, how many times do you put out, how many times you care more about it than they do? That is so a thing. That is so a thing. All right, we're in the home stretch here. Aquarius rising. I know you're out there. I know you're out there. We don't have an Aquarius rising. We have to have an Aquarius rising. Aquarius. Aquarius. I don't like that tonality. So you know that the Fifth Dimension were actually known for doing remakes of songs. And Aquarius was actually done, was a remake out of Hair. But boy, oh boy, did they get famous for that stuff. Right? Communication. All right, Kathy. Aquarius hanging out there. Lenny, you're in. Cindy Lou, you're in. Kathy, you're in. Well, you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat, right? You're in for a treat because this eclipse is hitting your third house. It's about communication. It's about how you're going to talk to one another, how you express ideas. You want to have intellectual pursuits. By the way, this always pairs well with what you got going on with Gemini and Gemini rising, just to let you know. You guys want to talk about those ideas. You want to talk about other people. You want to talk about good ideas. It's also a good way, Aquarius rising, to connect with siblings. You know, the third house is quietly about siblings. And part of the reason why siblings are a reflection of the third house is because that is often how we learn how to communicate, is through talking to our younger brothers and sisters, or older brothers and sisters, getting beat up when you're younger, or thinking that you're, tricking your dad into thinking that, there's an earthquake going on in the next room, and because they're throwing each other against the wall that they consistently do, and told them 1,000 times that you're not supposed to play like that. And then I go in there to yell at them, and they're sitting there all demure. Meanwhile, down in Jersey, there's a 4.8, and shut up, New Jersey. Aquarius rising. Here you go. Oh, time to change. You are in high transition mode. By the way, the death card coming out in the first position here. Take a chill pill, Aquarius. And by the way, most Aquarius risings just went, oh, yeah? Give me the tower, too. I don't fucking care. Come on. Oh, that would have been funny. But the Ace of Swords comes out. So this is a mental pursuit for you. This is for you to change your ideas and your patterns with it. You didn't say anything. Michelle, here we go. And then the Knight of Cups comes out. Oh, yeah. So this is about, you know what this is? This is not you know what? I'm going to roll it all out. I know what this is. I know what it is. Four of Cups comes out. The Four of Cups talks about you, not talking about other people, Aquarius rising. This is about you not really giving a shit about the Joneses. This is you not being worried about, like, oh, did you see what so and so has? Oh, did you I don't know what that was about. We'll find out later. This is about you saying, okay, so the Four of Cups is about the FOMO card, like missing out of things. This isn't you getting hung up on missing out on things. The Ace of Swords comes out along with the Knight of Wands. Guess what, everybody? This is about you going, I've got this new idea. It's about time to put it into it. And then the Knight of Cups along with the Temperance is about you not overdoing it, not extorting anybody. It is also not about excluding anybody. This is about your opportunity to connect the dots for you and your purpose. High purpose time, high communication time. I love this. Quit talking about people. Quit talking shit. Start putting your ideas to good use and just go with the flow. Don't force it. Don't force it, Aquarius rising, because you should breathe. Everything is happening exactly as it should. Great advice for Aquarius any day of the sunshine, right? But listen, you got to take a chill pill sometimes, right? There it is. I love it. I do love it. I love my work. You know, in Aquarius rising, you've always had this subtle responsibility as we move into the age of Aquarius that whether you like it or not, there is a part of this that, oh, I love it. Thanks, Magical Mermaid. That you take on this responsibility of making sure the rudder's in the right spot. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There really is nothing wrong with that. All right, Pisces rising. Let's finish strong, right? By the way, the reason why you pay attention to the rising is because that is where the relationship is to where the eclipse is actually occurring. So, Pisces rising, guess what? This is about money, 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 money. Hits your financial house in the second house, right? This is about you recognize everything is a relationship. In this case, it's a relationship with money. Maybe this is a good time for you to review, and this is good for anybody, but especially the Pisces rising right now. Go through and see what you are getting dinged on with all of your apps. That is the biggest saver. You know, you're like, okay, I'm only working with 10 shekels, and then 7 of them go out the door for a stupid freaking app that you didn't even sign up for. You just wanted to check it out, and then they're like, we won't bill you, and then they bill the shit out of you for the next 9 months. And it's almost like a Sears home warranty. I paid for a Sears home warranty for 7 years. I canceled it so many times I can't even count. I finally called my bank and said, this is fraud. I sent them the letter, I showed them whatever, and they eventually cleaned it up. But I had to go to extremes in order to do it. Extremes. I hope you don't have to be extreme here, Pisces, because Pisces, when you get extreme, yeah, there we go. I love this card for you hitting your second house. You know why? Because Bob's Diner in Bainbridge had a really good cup of soup. Their food was awesome. All right. I love this. So the 7 of Swords comes out here because it's kind of like taking your ball and going home, but it's actually recognizing that you got more to work with than what you think. And the things that you're going to cut out, you didn't really need them anyways. Okay. It's not all bad, but there's some trim to do because you're going to do the right thing. You got people to take care of, Pisces rising. I cannot make these reads up, but here it is, because then the 10 of Pentacles comes out. There is a natural source of abundance here when you pay attention to your finances. Huh, Pisces, Pisces rising. How you doing, everybody? But wait, there's more. There is way more. Because here is the Ace of Pentacles, the eternal abundance card of money, time, vision, creativity. But why stop there, Brandon? Why? Because I'm only a pro's pro. This is what I do. Three of Cups comes out here along with the Six of Wands. Well, you know what this is? This is you being celebrated. We like it when you save a few shekels and coins. By the way, hey, everybody, let's go to ice cream. And then you're like, what? We're going to ice cream? I don't have any money. Pisces, because you're tightening up your belt, you can go like, I can get you soft serve. Let's go. You want some sprinkles on that? A little mint? What do you want? Little mint. What the hell is that, Brandon? Want some mint chocolate chip ice cream? Now we're talking. Plain old chocolate chip? All right, I'll take it. Mint. You know what? Take out the chocolate chips. Just give me the mint. Am I the only one? I appreciate the mint chocolate chip, though. Let's be honest. It's a thing. Ten of Pentacles comes out. Who are we talking to with the Ten of Pentacles? Bam. Little BDE here, not going to lie. The King of Wands comes out along with this. You are going to own it. Kick ass and take names, my friends. Here we are, Pisces rising. You're doing everything right. But you got to pay attention to it, because I think you've been hosed a little bit before in the past when it comes to this. And right now, you just need to pay attention to it. And it's not a bad thing. It's truly not a bad thing. What it is you having the opportunity to clear this up so you can take care of other people. I know you, Pisces rising. I'm a Pisces sun. I know what the feeling is, right? You just poured mint tea. Of course you did. All right, guys, we're going to head out strong here. Whenever I look, I see something grateful for. All right, Pisces rising. I can't think of a better message to pull out of here on. Yeah, Sarah, this one's for you. Hey, guys, I want you guys to have a great weekend. Be pensive about your work. Be pensive about where it is that you want to go. Magical Mermaid, thanks for so much for the heads up on these. Takes a village. Mary, thank you too. Cindy Lou Who, mint tea sounds good. Sounds good. Here's the thing to remember. If you can see the eclipse, fantastic. Don't look directly at it, all that other horse hockey. But recognize that, one of the things that makes you great is when you get hairspray John Waters. That's funny. One of the things that makes you great is that you take the opportunities to grow. This eclipse that lines up with your astrology allows you to grow. It's grow time, guys. That's what eclipses are. No, you're not in the dark, but also look at the things that are straining your energy. If you unplug it and it doesn't grow anymore, or it doesn't need your effort or electricity, told you who it is, right? They told you who they are. If you're ready to make these changes that you need to, whether it be about your finances, your creativity, what you have around you, your routines, your networking, your value in the world. This is why the energy is funny, Lenny. I was about to use this term. Why this energy is so intense. It is encouraging you to change. It is encouraging you to take hold of things and be a part of it. See my live show, guys. This one's just in upstate right now. Trust me, I'm going to get to everybody else. Sign up for the email list. You're going to get my new Zoom party thing. You're going to love it. This change, all this stuff, this earthquake, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter and Uranus conjunct, it's going to kick ass and take names for us. It is an opportunity. By the way, the people that don't understand this and don't speak our language, we're going to have to lift them up, right? This is us as the melody makers. Hey, Bob. This is allowing us to become who we're meant to be. Always look for inspiration from people that are original. People that are authentic. Oops, I screwed up. Well, we're going to call it a happy accident. Your entire fucking life is a happy accident. You make mistakes all the time. You take a left when you should have taken a right. You butt dial somebody when you shouldn't have, right? You go to type something, you type riding instead of rising. Come on, that's funny. That's just the way it goes. Oh my gosh, I'm so done with these notifications. But I want to thank you guys for being a part of my journey here. And I'm just going to leave you with this guy here. There it is. All right, guys. I just want to tell you guys, take care. Have a great eclipse. And remember all your happy mistakes. God, it looks deranged. Earthquake Portrait by Bob Ross. 407 years ago, Bob Ross had a paintbrush. Bob Ross got hit by an earthquake. Bob Ross made a scene out of the wall. What are you guys still doing here? I love you guys. Take care. Oh, one last thing. Heart taps. See you guys soon. Take care, guys.